Good morning, my lovelies, and welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. Yet another day in my kitchen, and today is again a day when I'm making some postpartum dishes for a friend that just gave birth. Not just gave birth, like almost 22 days ago. And I thought I should bring you in and show you some of the things based on the restrictive diet that most Indian, South Asian women have to follow after they give birth. There's a lot of food restrictions in terms of what you can or cannot eat, depending on whether you're breastfeeding your child or not. But even for your own healing, there are a lot of foods that are recommended and certain others that are not, that just help you to heal better. And sometimes if you've had a C-section, then you're actually not only recovering from pregnancy, but also not recovering from giving birth, but also recovering from surgery. So in here I have a Moong Dal with spinach. Now this friend of mine has been allowed to eat spinach. When I was postpartum, both my mother and mother-in-law strictly said no to any kind of green leafy vegetables, because I think it tends to make the baby gassy or something. I don't know what the reason is, but yeah. So yes, this is moong dal and palak, but I'm using the split green moong dal instead of using the yellow moong dal. She got yellow moong dal yesterday, so I didn't want to repeat the lentils. I just want to give her as much variety as I can. And basically I just boiled it with salt and turmeric, and I put 3 whole cloves of garlic, and I put a big knob of ginger, and I boiled it. Now I'm just thinning it out with water. I'm going to let it boil for a few minutes, and then I will remove the portion that's going to go to her. That's only going to get a tempering of ghee and cumin seeds and ginger. And for my family, I'm going to create a separate tempering with olive oil, onions, and tomatoes. So this is one of the dishes that I'm making. I am going to set it on sear mode. Whatever I'm doing in the instant pot, you can always do it in your pressure cooker as well. Then I also made her some Semia, which is right here. Hello Nandini ji, good morning. Yes, I am going to add hing in the tadka because everything she eats gets hing. Hing is asafoetida, which is supposed to be a really good it combats flatulence, and it's really good for your internal healing, and it's really good for digestion. So for a new mother, that's key. Okay, this is the semia that I make, and I use 1 part of evaporated milk, and I use regular milk from regular whole milk. So this is really not the time when you should be dieting or cutting calories. Just use whole foods as much as possible. And you can see all these brown bits. This is actually the rabdi or the malai that gathers on the side, and then I scrape it through and drop it right back into the pot. You can see it's pretty thick, almost like a porridge. And I've added cashews to this instead of adding almonds, because I just felt like when I was a new mom and I would get things with almonds, the skins would really bother me. So I've put cashew nuts in this, and I've put cardamom, and I've put a little bit of jaggery, which is good. It's not sugar, it's actually sugar cane juice that's before crystallization and before all the crazy processing happens till it turns to sugar. So this is vermicelli. It's wheat vermicelli that is widely available in a lot of Indian stores. It's also the same vermicelli that you eat around Eid. Let me see if I can find a packet that I can show you. Hold on. Okay. So this is the brand that I'm using. This is what I'm using. It's called Natural. And this is what it looks like. It's already roasted, so I didn't double roast it because then it would just become too dark. If you get the one that's unroasted and you're cooking this for a new mom, then you can always just saute it or dry roast or roast it lightly with a little bit of ghee, and then add it to the boiling milk, and it makes a nice dessert. It makes a nice porridge. She can eat it for breakfast. Okay, so that's that. Another thing that I'm making here is lauki ki sabzi. And basically you have to eat a lot of lauki and tori and zucchini and things in the gourd family. This is just cut into small cubes. This is being made in desi ghee. And to the hot ghee, I've added cumin seeds. I've added dry fenugreek herbs, which is kasuri methi that looks like this. So all the warming herbs have to go into her food. No paprika, only salt, cumin seeds, fenugreek, and some turmeric. That's all I've put. And I've put 3 cloves of garlic in here. So when I mean, my experience was a little bit different. I wasn't allowed to eat too much garlic either. So whatever my mother-in-law said to do, I just did that. And then the last thing that I'm making today for her is an Oats Uttapam. Okay, so this is just rolled oats from Bob's Red Mill, and I've taken my coffee grinder and ground it in here. And then this is what you get. Actually, the longer the batter sits, it tends to get really thick. So keep a glass of water handy. The only thing I've done to this is I've added water. I've not added any baking soda or any kind of leavening agent. We are just going to make uttapams, which are savory pancakes. And I am going to bring in a teaspoon. So I'm going to make it in my dash, which is my little teeny tiny non-stick skillet. But you can absolutely do this on a frying pan. You can do it on a cast iron pan, whatever you've got. Okay. And then here I have some vegetables that I've cut up. She's allowed to eat carrots and onions and cilantro. So I've got all of these right here. And I've cut this really small, like you can see, like this. Okay, so I'm just going to set you guys up over here so you can get a good look at what is going on. This is where the action will happen. And it's really super duper hot. So I just want to make sure that you guys are getting the right view. Okay. Is it good? Yeah. Can you just tell me in the comments if you can see this properly? Okay, so this is the base of it. And I'm just going to clean around it. As soon as you plug it in, it gets really, really hot. So basically, I'm just going to fill a ladle of this and put it in here. So I wasn't allowed to eat any besan or kala chana besan or any kind of chickpea flour or any kind of beans. So even though this friend of mine has shared her nutritionist's recommendations and it contains besan, I have not used it here, but so I'm just going to add a little bit of garnish to the top just to make it look pretty. And I'm going to add some cumin seeds, which are super duper important. What's up? I'm just going to add some cumin seeds right here. And I'm going to close this. So that's pretty much how this works. And it's going to take a few seconds. Then we're going to go ahead and flip it. For now, I'm keeping an eye on the spinach and lentil. You want some kheer? What do you want? That's my daughter who just walked into the kitchen with a very disturbed look on her face. Like, what is my mother doing all the time kind of look. La, 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 la. Okay, so this is already happening. I am going to sneak peek. It happens very quickly actually. And I use this all the time to make uttapams, to make little pies. I've even used it to make grilled paneer and sandwiches and whatnot. And it comes out really, really good. Nandini ji, yes, you should do this. It's really, really tasty. It's delicious. And you can also add this to your existing dosa batter and up the fiber in your dosa batter. So definitely use it. It's just regular. If you want, I can show you the packaging of the oats, the brand that I used. I used the Bob's Red Mill rolled oats and a regular coffee grinder. Like, there is really no rocket science to that. And this little thing is just so adorable, especially if you have kids in your house, you're cooking for your toddler or something, or grandkids. This is just really cool because it's just a perfect portion. It's not huge. Whatever I'm doing here, you can absolutely do it on your skillet. I've added a little turmeric because I think without the turmeric, it just ends up looking very, very bland. And because I'm cooking for a postpartum lady, I'm not going to be stingy with the ghee. If you're watching your calories, you can make this completely oil-free. And you can make it, you can even make it with cooking spray. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Keep an eye on this, you guys. I'll be back. I'll show you the brand of the oats that I've used. 1 second. Okay. So this is what I've used. It's the Bob's Red Mill rolled oats quick cooking whole grain. Okay, so this is the brand that I've used. You can use any oats that you like. And I think the easiest thing is, we try to make rotis out of all the non-gluten flours and everything, but I think this is just such a good idea. If you can make a crepe You don't have to worry about kneading the dough and trying to make a roti out of it. It gets way too complicated, right? So yeah, this is going to need a few minutes. I'm just going to leave it in here. That's that. I'm going to take a look at how this is doing. So I am going to go in with a, hold on. I'm going to go in with a hand blender, and I will blend this so that there are no threads of, you see how there are these threads of spinach? So these threads of spinach will not be there. And then I'm going to add the tempering so that there will be a little bit of a textural contrast, but it'll still be good. And usually I use chana dal for my dal palak, but today I use the green moong, which is the half split green moong. It's a lot easier to digest, and let me show you what it looks like. Hello Bhavna, hello Mahendra Meena Patel. I think this is your first time here. Welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. Please don't let this be your last. Like and follow our page. We do a lot of free cooking videos, lots of recipes that happen on the live feed, and I try to bring in as many as I can. So today I'm cooking a postpartum meal for a friend. Okay, so this is the green dal that I've put inside my dal palak today. And I'm going to create the tempering with ghee and cumin seeds and hing, like Nandini ji said. Yes, so this is going to boil now for, actually, let me just cancel this and hit the sear button. I'm going to boil this out so that it's the right consistency. Then I will blend it with the hand blender, and that's going to be it. The kheer, I have to start plating it because it's ready. I have turned it off, and you can see it's nice and thick. If you like it thin, you can always thin it out with some regular milk. Just warm up the milk and add it. As the longer it sits in the fridge, the thicker it'll get. It'll become very malaidar, but it'll also become pretty thick. So if you like your desserts to be thin, you can do that. But of course, if you're not postpartum, then you can do that. If you're postpartum, then you cannot eat anything from the fridge. Yes, so it's complicated being Indian sometimes. But our mothers and grandmothers and mothers-in-laws know better than we do. So you just quietly follow. So bottle gourd takes a little bit of time to cook, and I'm just going to cook it past al dente because I want it to be a nice smooth texture. I will mash down some of these with the back of my spoon. This entire portion is just for her. And you know that water-based vegetables are not that filling, but they're required postpartum only to give your body a little bit of rest from digestion. And also you're balancing it out with all the rich foods that you're eating in terms of the dry fruits and the ghee. So you're trying to balance everything out. That's pretty much how it goes. So this is my uttapam. It's looking good. I think it still needs a few more minutes on the top to get a little bit of color. Don't break on me, bro. Okay, so I'm going to close this back up. And like I said, don't be stingy with the ghee. You see how cute that is? Right? So if you have one of these little guys, you get them as waffle makers. You get them as pancake makers. I just bought this just because I thought it was just really cute. And I use it a lot because I cook for myself a lot. We're just a very small family. And yeah, so I've done like grilled paneer sandwiches in this. I've done mini pizzas in this. So I pretty much have a lot of electronic stuff that I use in my life to make it easier, whether it's an instant pot over there, whether it's an electric air fryer over here, an electric skillet over there, and this. So I do have a lot of things that help me in my journey. So yes, this is the end of our live video. I just wanted to show you a couple of things. I still have to make a tuna ceviche for her. I will do a tuna stir fry for her only because she eats vegetarian and non-vegetarian food. So I will make that on the stovetop. And I'm going to make some savak ke chawal, which is actually the millet, which I made for her last week, 2 days ago as well. I will make that instead of rice. And that's a very healthy replacement for new moms. So that's what's going on in my kitchen. As far as this uttapam goes, you can do the same thing with jowar. You can do it with bajra. So a lot of doctors also now tell normal people to stay away from too many grains. And if you can do alternate grains, then it's really good for your overall health, because most grains just cause inflammation, especially the ones that have gluten, whereas the ones that are non-glutinous are really good, like quinoa, like bajra, like jowar, which is sorghum, and millets are supposed to be the new superfoods. So yeah, that's that. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian. I just cook whatever I can cook. I follow whatever I can follow. Every day there is new research that comes out, and based on that, we keep changing something or the other in our food, right? It smells really good with the ghee. It looks like a little, like a little savory malpua. That's what it looks like. I'm going to put more ghee. This is the brand of ghee that I love. I absolutely like this ghee. Literally smells like the ghee that my grandmother used to use. And this is not an Indian brand. It's a Pakistani brand called Halib. But the smell of it is better than, like, I'm not anti-national or anything, but I just love it for what it is. The flavor of this is on point. It really, like, exactly smells like the kind of pure ghee that we've seen in our childhood, that our grandmothers used to use. This literally smells like that. I also like Amul ghee from India, and I like Patanjali. Those are two that I really like. I don't like Nanak. I think it has a very strong buffalo milk smell, which I find it not cool. So yeah, so this is this. I hope you guys are going to give this a try. If you don't have this little guy, make it in your frying pan, make it in your skillet. It's really a very, very delicious breakfast or dinner recipe. If you want to stuff this with mushrooms, you want to stuff it with paneer bhurji, you can really make it your own. You can add as many vegetables to the batter as you want to make it healthy. And you can also make this sweet or savory. So that's the good thing, right? It doesn't have to be savory. It can be sweet. It can be pretty much anything you want it to be. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to my live. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Here is the spinach and the dal. I just put it back to boil because I'd added some extra water and I need this to be homogeneous. I'm going to go ahead and make the tadka, and then we are going to get ready to pack it for my friend. Thanks again for everybody to come in here and join me on a Saturday morning. You could have been doing something better with your time right now, but you chose to spend that time with me. I appreciate that. If you'd like to get a free chana masala recipe, head over to my website, queenscurrykitchen.com, and scroll down and you will see free chana masala download. Just go for it and you will get it in your inbox. An easy peasy chana masala recipe. I will continue to cook these uttapams, and I hope I will see you in another video real soon. Bye.